Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back after a 1 week layoff. Our perfect attendance has officially been ruined um, between the hurricane in the Northeast and New Jersey, where we broadcast the show. My power was out, and I don't even know if it was the hurricane or if it was retribution. And between what happened with Alexa Bliss last Friday night, I tell you what, even if we did the show, my heart was just not into it. I was just worried sick all week with my beautiful flower. But right now, we are back. This is the Essential Wrestling Podcast. This is episode 14. This is our Stone Cold episode. This is our very fun, by the way, tag team championship dumpster match, which nobody talks about, which was a lot of fun when you got Mick Foley and you got Terry Funk on one side getting to use toys. Great match. And then, of course, live DX band. This is that episode as well. My name is Karl. Happy to be back into your homes tonight. Thank you so much. Again, we apologize for taking the week off. You know, bleep happens, I guess, right? Once again, with us, we have the first ever Pro Wrestling Pick'em champion, the living legend, John DeConnie. John, how are you today, pal?
Good to see you again, Al. Thanks for having me back.
Oh, glad to have you back. Glad you're safe. John Smith, you're with us as well, ladies and gentlemen. John Smith is back. Glad you are safe. You were up, I guess we're both North Jersey, right?
Yeah, I just lost internet for a day, though, so I was fine. I just lost internet for a day. Happy belated birthday to Alexa Bliss, by the way. Yesterday was her birthday.
Yes, it was. Happy birthday, Alexa. 21 again. She doesn't get a day older. She doesn't age older than 21. I was going to say something else and I forgot. Like I said, it's been a wild week. It's been a very wild week. Actually, as I'm looking in the background right now, as you can see, I am here at an undisclosed location due to last week's incident. I am back at my parents' house. So if you see my mother randomly start vacuuming behind me, or if you see my father coming through the garage, that door right there, just pay no mind. I'm sure they'll be talking to me, asking my mother will be asking me if I'm wearing my clean underwears. Just let it go, and we will continue with the show. On today's show, Jon Moxley with a successful title defense on Dynamite, and now his next challenge is up. He's got a challenge at All Out. Rich Swann was retiring on Impact. Maybe. Dom Mysterio got initiated on Raw last night. Holy crap. A Battle Royal will determine the championship match at SummerSlam on SmackDown. We're going to main event the show with the NXT North American title match, which both gained and lost a competitor in that match, which is unfortunate. We're going to talk about that. Throughout the show, we're going to be making our picks for this week's upcoming matches, which is presented by our good friends at MinutesToBellTime.com. And you will see Ryan Joy from MinutesToBellTime.com on the show today talking New Japan with the United States tournament going on with that. Plus, we have new six-man never open-weight champions. But he provides all the graphics for us. And once again, we are sponsored by ProWrestlingPick'em.com. Play against your friends. Play against the universe. We're going to curtain jerk the show, and I mentioned them earlier due to the power outage at my house. A group of, do we use the word vigilantes, John Smith, by the name of Retribution?
I don't know what to think about these guys. Rioters, protesters, what? I don't know who could be behind this. I don't know if these guys are all of them, or if these are just minions of a higher power. I don't know what to think about these guys. I at first I thought they were just coming up with an excuse for their lights flickering because of the hurricane. I thought they were trying to write some sort of storyline off, but then it turns out that there was some big group that they're planning on, and I like the idea of it, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and then two things, John DeConnie. I guess, John Smith, said sometimes real life dictates pro wrestling. Vince McMahon is it's not below Mr. McMahon to bring a little more real life into wrestling. We just have to look at the backyard, the backlot brawl of WrestleMania 12 for that one. I'm actually quite shocked there's not a wrestler called Coronavirus as we speak. But also, John, is that I don't recognize any of these guys.
No,
And
I saw a blurb where someone thought they identified Mustafa Ali under one of the hoods. But yeah, totally
him
random.
Again? This is him again. Like this is not. Well, if one's Mustafa Ali, then one's got to be CM Punk. That's really what it's coming down to right now.
And we did get an inkling that one of them was female, because otherwise I don't think Vince would have had somebody punch a female or kick a female in the face. So maybe Eva Marie is there too.
It is possible. It is possible. Yes, I did see. Well, it was long black curly hair. I would know Eva Marie's hair, and yeah, I don't think it was her. But yes, one of them was female. The long black curly hair you saw, and it was that sweatshirt was loaded a little top heavy too. I noticed those things.
Indeed.
So they blew out a transformer on Raw, and then they completely destroyed SmackDown. And then last night, I guess the cinder blocks are kind of heavy, but I think he intentionally threw it at the bottom so the glass would break, like the way Austin's used to. But I guess to be continued with them. I really don't know what they're doing, how they're doing it, why they're doing it. It should be interesting to follow where Retribution, and with SummerSlam right around the corner, you kind of get the feeling that tag that's been on those graphics out of nowhere, I don't know. I'm feeling that's meaning something. Maybe that has something to do with them. I don't know. But like I mentioned, they kind of destroyed SmackDown, so we'll start with there. Bray Wyatt came out with a Firefly Funhouse, blamed Braun Strowman for what the Fiend did to Alexa Bliss, John DeConnie. I don't buy that. And then it got a little more interesting after that.
Yes, he pulled a Snitsky by claiming that it was not his fault. And that all that Braun needed to do was give him what he wants.
That's it.
And as easy as that, later on in the evening, Braun decided he can have what he wants at SummerSlam.
That's it. That match is officially booked. John Smith. Like I said, I was kind of in and out this week with Power and watching the shows. I missed a little bit about this segment, but Alexa Bliss was with the Fiend in the ring.
Yeah, and she kind of caressed his face when he was about to put the mandible claw on her, like some sort of Stockholm syndrome stuff. It was weird. It was like she was attracted to him or something, and then he stopped and backed off, and it was weird, and I don't know where they're going with that. Yeah.
You figured Nikki Cross would have the Stockholm syndrome out of the two of them, right? I don't think Alexa Bliss is from Scotland.
I could see this all being a roundabout way to get Nikki Cross involved with the Fiend get her out of the team with Bliss.
That'd be interesting. Like I said, you've been saying for a while you want to see those two split up. I mean, I would like to see, like I said, Alexa on another title run. But again, interesting to see where this goes. This is gonna be a fun episode because a lot of it's gonna be like, okay, well, we got to see where this goes because SummerSlam is a week from Sunday. We got one more week next week to talk about what happens, and then we got our special next Saturday on the 22nd, where we can just kind of dive face first into everything. And speaking of SummerSlam, apparently, since Bayley and Sasha Banks pretty much have nothing to do on SmackDown right now, I guess cue up Stephanie McMahon as the person that they're supposedly feuding with right now. So Stephanie McMahon came out. Laid down the law, John DeConnie.
Yes, indeed. She did not like the fact that they found a loophole in her stipulation. So now, Sasha had to face Asuka, and Bayley's going to get her next contender by a triple branded battle royal.
And that is it. And that's what that would be the first match that we talk about. Ooh, gotta get that. That'd be John Smith. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I don't.
New brands. We don't know who's in it. Any stabs here? I got a couple in my head who I kind of want to see, who I think could be in. It could go.
It's not going to be anybody from SmackDown, obviously. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing this. If they had already planned on it being somebody from SmackDown, they wouldn't involve everybody, I think. I think it's going to be somebody from NXT. Maybe maybe Shotzi Blackheart is the first person I thought.
Okay.
Either way, I don't see Bayley losing the title to whoever wins this match, but that's for another time. But yeah.
Okay. John DeConnie, take a stab here. What brand, what stars you like? It's pretty much you're gonna have a dartboard in front of you. You got to kind of throw one out there.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to steal from you and say Dakota Kai, but
yeah, well, that'd be pretty fun. You have 2 title shots in one weekend. That'd be
absolutely
that'd be pretty sick.
Yeah, but the only thing going through my head is that maybe they tie it in somehow with the whole Mandy and Sonya storyline, and maybe Sonya wins the Battle Royal, gets the title shot, and then Mandy, because we mentioned this way back when, that Otis having the briefcase almost doesn't make sense. So does he give it to Mandy to get involved with Sonya and eventually get the title? Who knows? But that was the first thing that went through my head when I heard about the Battle Royal.
I believe somebody mentioned that theory episode 1 of this show. Is 1 or 2? I'm not exactly sure. Way back when on Zoom. So I got a couple people here. Like I said, I like the idea of Sonya on SmackDown. She's kind of her and Naomi from SmackDown. If I had to pick one to represent SmackDown, Raw. Is Charlotte due back? Like, are we forgetting this? Like, is this how you get Charlotte Flair on SummerSlam?
Oh.
So you got her to worry about. I like Shayna Baszler from Raw, but I said last night, and we'll get to her on the Raw Underground, that kind of soured me because I feel like she was coming after a championship, and this might way to at least get her on the show going after a championship. In NXT, Rhea, like you throw Rhea Ripley, she's already been on the big stage. I mean, Vince obviously likes her. Do you throw her back out there? So there's a lot of you can do here, but it's going to be Tegan Nox. So I don't even know why we're discussing this. So Tegan Nox will win. There was an interesting like 3-way, like no DQ, and it started really weird with the Matt Riddle and Sheamus that ended in disqualification because Shorty G came out to get the ransom. Then you fast forward to Corbin and Jeff Hardy, so Sheamus comes out because he was pretty upset that he got disqualified. But he's not going to pass up a chance to bro kick Jeff Hardy either. So he does that. So then you have a heel versus heel between King Corbin and Sheamus. And I was loving every second of it, John Smith. Like, I thought that the way, you're like, oh my God, oh my God, a DQ. Oh my God. And then it just circles right. I like how that circled around.
I've been begging for heel on heel action for so long. It needs to happen.
You make it sound like
it's okay. It's kind of like the videos you skip. I like the heel on heel stuff. The match itself was really good. I wish it was a little longer, but it took so much of the show to set it up that I could see why I only went 5 minutes. But I'd love to see this match again at SummerSlam. I don't know if that's a possibility, but it was. I love the whole thing from start to finish.
Yeah, John DeConnie, your thoughts on this? Like, John Smith's getting a little dirty up there in that corner with the heel on heel action here. What do you think?
Once they put Sheamus and Corbin in the ring together, part of me wanted the lighting rig to fall on them, so I never had to see those two ever again. But then you sprinkle Riddle in there, and he did a little ninja / parkour jump, run, roll to cause a distraction for the bro kick win. And maybe not only do you get those two again, maybe we get a 3-way at SummerSlam.
there you go. Or you put a fatal four. You can throw Jeff back in. Like I said, I still think it's going to be Jeff and AJ for the Intercontinental title. But I haven't said that on air yet because we keep on running out of time at the end of the show. But yeah, I thought that was just it was a great. It was very drawn out. It was long. It had the stories with it though. You had the ransom. You had Corey, the Riddle, and then Riddle gets a laugh at the end, right? Riddle gets all just to make Riddle laugh. And then we mentioned Sonya and Mandy Rose. 2 weeks ago, Sonya kind of violated female law here by taking some shears to Mandy's head and cutting some of her hair. And if this isn't some kind of Hell in a Cell at SummerSlam, I'm going to be disappointed. These two need to just get at it, John Smith.
Yeah, I mean, they've been going at it for a good 6 months now, right? So, I mean, if they're going to keep shoving it down our throats, they better make the payoff, that good, like a no DQ at least. Cage match should be what it is, or like you said, Hell in a Cell, but at least a cage match, man.
Yeah, and it's funny. I can also see, and I'm hoping it's a no DQ because I want them to just, get good wrestling in with a little violence, whatever toys. I think it's going to be hair versus hair here, and I have a funny feeling. I'm starting to try to get myself used to a bald Sonya Deville here, John McConaughey, because I kind of feel like this is where it's going.
Yeah, it could happen. Part of me almost longs for the Attitude Era because I just have a feeling this match would involve a kiddie pool with some dry ice in it that was, a vat of acid, and someone would get dunked in it and walk around with a mask for the next 6 months.
Yeah.
But there's got to be some kind of gimmick match to wrap this up.
It's been great. This is gonna be. I hope this is like Rock and Hunter, or it's like a fight forever. Like it's just always gonna just keep on like Dakota and Tegan. Like I just want to keep on circling it back to them.
Yeah.
Down the line throughout their careers. So that's great. And then in the other match, there was one other match. Cesaro defeated Lince Dorado with a Gosh pile driver. Maybe looking at with the only face tag team on the roster currently for SmackDown, the Lucha House Party. Looks like they're kind of getting a tag title shot here by default. Let's do something here. I don't know. The Usos got to be coming back soon anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take a trip down memory lane here. I don't know if you gentlemen remember I believe it was the 2005 Royal Rumble. I believe numbers 1 and 2 were Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit. A couple of guys came in, and then a young upstart, tough enough winner rookie by the name of Daniel Puder came out, and he got initiated by, I believe, Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero. I believe Hardcore Holly was in there. I'm going to mention him again. I thought that was probably the toughest on-screen initiation I've ever seen. I thought they just totally destroyed Daniel Puder. And then Dominic Mysterio. Hold my beer. John DeConnie.
And in what you're referring to, if I remember correctly, there was reason for that. Like Puder had some backstage heat about what a great grappler he was or whatnot. So they lit him up with joy.
Yes.
I gotta think Dom Mysterio doesn't have any backstage heat. But
no.
Boy, it sure looked like it.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
I was waiting for Hardcore Holly to come out and be like, okay, my turn. Because that was, I think Taz was doing commentary during that run. I was like, Hardcore Holly hates everybody, but he really hates rookies. John Smith. You're right. Woof.
Yeah, I mean, I was shocked at how many times I was like, still they're gonna keep it. Oh wow. Then they're hitting them from both sides at the same time. It was bad. You know what? Dom's gonna get his receipt at SummerSlam though. He's good.
Yes.
Watch out for that.
So I got 2 points on this. Part of me was like, okay, I can kind of see this as an initiation because you know what? I'd say 99% of the wrestlers, they go through the indies, they pay their dues, whatever. Dom's getting this. He's got to go through something. Randy took the tax against Mick Foley. That was his. I mean, it took a little while for Randy to get it, but Randy had to take the tax at Backlash, and then all of a sudden, you just get accepted that way. That's how you pay your dues. This is Dom paying his dues. But the huge point that I want to make here, again, okay, how devastating is the curb stomp that Humberto Carrillo was outside of the ring the entire time, knocked out, while Dom Mysterio is getting killed? Again, with Humberto Carrillo, he is the most selfish person on the Raw roster. Why people need to start booing Humberto Carrillo?
Slow burn, heel turn.
Exactly. He just
Boo this man.
shows up when he wants, and then he's down for 15 minutes while the guy who's trying to help, is helping him, gets the crap. Man,
Took longer to get to the ring than Kenny Omega. Jesus.
yeah, right. Yeah. Kenny Omega would have showed up after Raw's after this. Okay, where is he? Oh, Kenny O. And then that's so we started the show, and then we ended the show. You know what? When they put Flair with Orton, you knew this was coming eventually. I don't know, John Smith. I didn't want to see this come this soon.
I don't know why it had to happen in the first place. I think if Flair was never there to begin with, it wouldn't have hurt or helped this angle in any way. So the fact that he now, was he there only for this reason? And I mean, I don't know. I don't get it. And then the lights go out when he punts him. So it's obviously you don't want a 71-year-old man with a bad ticker in his chest getting punted in the face or even, faking it. So I don't know though, man.
Yeah, well, I know. I believe they recently extended Ric Flair's contract because Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard over in AEW, and that's halfway there. You know what I'm saying? So I get why you want Flair. Put him on TV for a little bit. I just anybody but Orton, and especially when he's with this Legend Killer gimmick again, John DeConnie. I was like, oh, this is not gonna.
Yeah, I mean, do we really need any more evidence that Randy Orton is a vile piece of trash, be it kayfabe or in real life? I mean, all you need to get him over is a 45-second package of what he's done in the past. You don't gotta dig up Ric Flair's unfortunate, near carcass and drag him out just to get pummeled by him. And I'm not the kind of person who gets offended. You can say, hey, call me a big fat cripple. You're not gonna offend me with words. But it literally made me nauseous watching Orton allude to Flair's dead son, and and notice they didn't do that with Charlotte in the building because I don't think she would have stood for that. Rick needs a paycheck. Charlotte, I think, would have put a foot down. No matter maybe wrong, but I just thought the whole thing was in poor taste and completely unnecessary. We get it. Orton's a piece of garbage.
Yeah. Yeah, it was unnecessary, but I understand why I need him under contract. I would have run around Charlotte again. Why couldn't we just do that? That's
give him a new faction. Give him some upstarts to.
Or you could do that too. Exactly. Give him his version of the Hurt Business, right? Same thing. Speaking of the Hurt Business, they took part not last night, but last weekend when it started. They took over at the end of the new Raw Underground brought to you by Shane McMahon. All right, just get John Smith. You can go first because I want to rattle up the people that they've been doing this with. This has been spot on for me.
Look, obviously we know it's a work, and if you go into it expecting some sort of shoot situation, then you're going into it with the wrong idea. And if you go into it with a pro wrestling mindset, you got the wrong idea too. I don't know how to categorize this, but I like it. I like that it's separate from everything else. I like that they're bringing in some tough guys and girls to go in there and fight, and they're fighting some no names and some scrubs and I like it. I don't know why it's only part of Raw. I feel like it should have been part of NXT. before it was part of Raw.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was out of nowhere. I didn't know what the hell I was watching at first, and I turned out liking it for some reason.
And what really got me, so they started off, last Monday with this guy, Dabocado. Did I say that right? Dabocado? 7 foot tall. Yeah, it's okay. So they're trying to, build new guys. They're trying to do this. But then the next segment, you got Eric of the Viking Raiders. I'm like, yes, this is for him. And then the next segment was Dolph Ziggler. Like, yes, Dolph can do this. Like, Dolph can definitely hold his own in this. Then you fast forward to last night, and you got the Brazilian judo guy from NXT, Arturo Ruas. You got Shayna Baszler. You got Dabocado. Like, this is just like, they're picking the right people to showcase in this, John McCon.
Yeah, I guess a couple of names are going to come out of this. I got to be honest. My first reaction to it was, what am I watching and why? Yeah, there were like old dancers in the background, and the worst possible thing you can do, other than give Lana a live microphone, is give the cocky, borderline heel version of Shane McMahon a live microphone, and to have him just off screen go, oh, he's going for the choke. Oh, okay, it's over. Have him like kind of play by play to the side. It was driving me nuts. But I see that something's going to come of it. We're going to get somebody added to the roster from it. There's been a little bit of entertainment there. It drove me nuts initially, but considering I don't know what they're doing with the rest of either of those two shows, this I guess has added to it.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Again, so you have cinematic matches on pay-per-views, or even on SmackDown, because the bar fight, it's not that place you got to go when somebody knows your name. They have a cinematic match too, quote unquote. It's pandemic times right now. You got to try something different. So I'll give them, throw it against the wall, see what sticks right now. You have, this is the one time you can try this. Screw it, try it. And like I said, they're picking the right people. Riddick Moss is the name I left off the list. Riddick Moss, he's a big boy. I mean, I don't think he's got, like an MMA background like Baszler, or even a collegiate wrestling background like Ziggler, or judo background. Like, there's a lot of those guys, they're picking these people. I like where it's going so far. Exactly. John Smith agreed. Don't look too deep into it, and you're okay.
I also like the idea of maybe, a few months from now, like an angle getting so heated, like, yeah, meet me in the underground, and we'll hash it out down there, something like that. Maybe it could be something, I don't know.
Baszler and Asuka.
Or resurrect that NXT cage that they did for Riddle and Thatcher.
Yes.
There you go. All right. I will call Mr. McMahon and I tell him we'll be there in the morning to go over these ideas with him and Shane and everything.
He's watching right now anyway.
What's that?
He's watching now anyway.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly. That's right. I mentioned Hurt Business before. Shelton Benjamin had when I talked to Ryan Joy, I know Shelton Benjamin's first win in about 15 years was that roll-up against R-Truth a couple of weeks ago, but he actually had an in-ring singles victory last night. So we're getting what we want here, boys. Shelton Benjamin pinned the United States champion. I just realized that the belt is still around his shoulder, Jonathan.
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for that. When Apollo made his comeback, I guess 2 weeks ago, I don't know what plates were on it. I almost thought they said just APOLLO, Apollo, but they clearly were not this. I didn't say MVP because that would be easy enough to see. But there were some kind of black and gold plates on there that weren't just generic WWE plates. And I said to myself, he's giving him the belt back right here now. His plates are already on it. But then they were noticeably different this week. There was a completely different design of whatever the Apollo plates are going to be. I still haven't seen a good picture of them. But every second of it, I could not think of anyone but you. And how mad you were going to be that this was not just a prop.
But why wouldn't you give that belt to your kids? Like, that's the one here's thousands of dollars and it's going to be a kid's toy. That would be more insulting than walking around with a belt that's not even John Smith. Anyway, If you want to talk about the belt, fine. If you want to talk about Shelton Benjamin's big victory, you can do that too. Whatever you want to do.
I'm a big fan of Shelton, but I mean, I don't know why you don't like that belt. It's not the best belt. I give you that. It says champion too big. I give you that. But the old one looks like my son finger painted it when he was 5. So it had no history to it. It's like it's the WWE version of the WCW title, which is what it should be. But it's not that big a deal, Alfred.
The belt's half of it. I think the principle of how this is being introduced is what's bothering me. Like I don't know, the whole thing's just maybe if Apollo didn't get injured at Extreme Rules, maybe it would have been a smoother transition, whatever. But
yeah, it probably would have been presented to him the next day or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like Sammy did with the IC. So,
well, get ready for another awkward transition, possibly, because I read a rumor this week that I don't know why I was reading about only 1 and not 2, but apparently there's new SmackDown tag belts made and waiting to be, and they've been around for a while, just waiting to give them out. Oddly enough, I didn't hear that both tag team belts had been redone, but I did read something about new SmackDown tag belts. So that, you know. Yeah.
It's a belt rumor, though. So okay, we'll spread belt rumors. That's fine. As long as
Bring this thing back.
I saw an internet article. Today. Vince finally using new creative ideas. Like, what the hell are you talking? It was literally the dumbest headline I've ever heard in my entire life. I hate the internet. I really do. But I love everybody here on Facebook Live. Please make sure you subscribe to us, like us, go to Pro Wrestling Pick'em's face page, go to Minutes to Bell Time, their face page.
And can people stop saying smash the like button? Why did everybody start saying smash that like button? Why is anybody smashing any button? Just press the like button, please.
The like button. Just click. Just click it.
So apparently Montez Ford was poisoned last week. It stemmed off into 2 matches this week, last night, where Angelo Dawkins beat Andrade with that spine buster that he does, and then Bianca Belair and Zelina Vega actually had a really, really good match. I really enjoyed that. Now, I guess the question is, do you believe Zelina here? Like, she's just adamant that she didn't do this, John Smith.
I believe that she didn't do it. I think Angel Garza did it.
There you go.
I don't know why. It's just the first thing that came to my head when it happened. I think Angel Garza is responsible.
There you go. John Licani.
Yeah, he seems like the kind of fellow that might mix up a little Bill Cosby fruit punch and slip it to somebody. So, I thought it was odd, though, that Montez continued to sip from the cup, look at it oddly, and sip from the cup again. And it only seemed to be activated when he did his Ultimate Warrior impersonation. Like, shaking up his body is what made him pass out twice.
Twice for the second time. That aside, though, like I said, that match, I remember I told my wife last night, like, oh, yeah, Zelina's wrestling tonight. She's like, oh, she's going to get killed. I'm like, yeah, I think so. Again, completely held her own. Like, that was a very good match. Where Zelina Vega, actually, she looked tough in that. That was good. And then 2 other matches that we will fast forward through. The Viking Raiders and Cedric Alexander and Ricochet defeated Akira Tozawa, and what were 4 ninjas were actually, 3 ninjas were actually 2, because one of them was R-Truth, who rolled up Akira Tozawa to regain, for the 38th time, 24/7 championship. And then the match that was booked, I honestly think this match was booked specifically for me, between Peyton Royce and Liv Morgan. I spy a Jersey girl there. Didn't get the job done. But if you're going to lose, it might as well be to Peyton Royce for me. Those are my 2 Raw girls right there. Peyton got that spinning suplex she's been doing, and then a little miscommunication between Ruby and Liv. So that could possibly go somewhere. Just when we thought they were going to get back together, now we're Liv is gonna make her jump through a couple more hoops before they get that happy reunion. On AEW, we're gonna light the fuse. We're gonna bring the boom. Dynamite. Jon Moxley, another title defense. I believe MJF said it best in one of his press conferences. Like some emo kid with a skateboard is going to be world champ. So I think we all kind of knew Mox was going to get this, John Smith.
Yeah, I mean, that was a no-brainer. I was more concerned with what might happen after the match is over. But, I mean, what did happen at the end of the match? I actually forget.
I believe they shook hands.
Yeah, they kind of embraced, and Moxley whispered into his ear, basically, I guess, presumably telling him what a tough kid he was for taking
And I'm assuming part of that whisper was... That was an awesome bomb drop with the thumbtacks from your skateboard on top of Ricky Starks. I need to rewind the last week. Yes. Holy crap. Ricky Starks and Dom Mysterio both went up in my books just because of those two. But with those long-ass tacks, John DeConnie.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing over there. I guess they're trying to prove a point, but yeah, and you would think that maybe he could kind of, because it was a skateboard, a glancing blow off of his back wouldn't have been too bad, but there were no wheels on the skateboard, so the only thing that hit him were the tacks.
And the tacks land is just,
That was the only thing uglier was whatever happened to Matt Hardy, next week, but I'm sure you'll get around to that.
Yeah, we have Matt and Sammy coming up. But first, we have to get to, I guess, the show that we missed. FTR signed their contracts, and for whatever reason, Arn Anderson was there with them. I guess
their tag team consultant.
Yes, I believe. Like I said, there's a Horseman thing coming with Cody and FTR and Shawn Spears. So, but in that contract, we get Tag Team Appreciation Night on Wednesday night. As you can see, there's Arn Anderson right there with Tully Blanchard, former tag team champions, formerly known as the Brainbusters, as well as probably multiple-time NWA tag team champions and WCW tag team champions. Also with the Rock and Roll Express, there you go. They will be there. Give me 1 second. I got to get that up. There we go. Now we can see the full bracket. There's Tully's name. I knew it was there somewhere. And then the first match that we have for Tag Team Appreciation Night. And again, we got a Donnybrook here. We got Stu Grayson and Evil Uno representing the Dark Order, fresh off their tag team championship match that was unsuccessful. They're going against the Young Bucks. John Smith, I'm going to start with you on this one because I know you love the Bucks and the Stars and everything.
I'm picking against the Bucks on this one. They just give them that big win over the Ice Cream Men. So, I think they could stand to lose this one, and I think the Lucha Bros need this victory too.
Wait, what? Lucha Bros?
Oh, I thought who was it again? They were fighting.
Stu Grayson and Evil Uno. It's the Dark Order.
Oh, the Dark. Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought I saw the Lucha Bros on the screen.
There's a mask. Uno wears a mask.
That's what happens when I put my contacts in. They're a little blurry. Sorry. But I got the Dark Order in this one then. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. As long as you're betting against the Bucks, right? I think that's the whole point of the argument. And the Dark Order beat the Young Bucks along with FTR and Kenny Omega and Adam Page in a 12-man tag team match. I don't see too many of those. That was reminiscent of John DeConnie. I know you're with me on this one. An 87 or 1988 Survivor Series match back in the day when the tag teams were there was 10 guys on each side, like a 20-man team. But that was a crazy match. Who do you got in this one coming up, though?
Your question again?
No, who do you got coming up? You got FTR. I'm sorry, you got the Bucks and the Dark Order.
Oh yeah, the Bucks coming off of that recent win. The Dark Order coming off of their tag team championship loss. I'm thinking to keep them both kind of somewhere in the middle. The Dark Order takes it, especially, Brody Lee probably still has that smile plastered across his face from pinning Adam Page. So I think they ride that momentum a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Dark Order on this one too, because I mean, slowly just now I know. They say what was their record? Where did it come up at 8-1? Okay, now we know what happens when the Dark Order loses. Like Brody Lee was pissed, so I don't think we're gonna get another week of that. Like man, he was. So yeah, we'll go with the Dark Order. Before we get to the next tag team appreciation match, which is for the titles, there was a tag team match this past Wednesday. The Best Friends defeated Santana and Ortiz. We're sitting here waiting for Santana and Ortiz. We keep saying they're going to be the next ones, but they keep losing, John Tagani.
Yeah, well, Santana, my biggest takeaway from him is that he has now gone full Oscar Gamble. The hair is out there, but they just can't seem to put a winning streak together. But at the end of the day, the Best Friends really came out on the losing side when poor Trent's mom's car took the
and like I said, that kind of hurt me a little bit here, considering I'm actually at my parents' house right now, and I'm just like, oh man, I was waiting for them to drive me to baseball practice with my best friends. Anyway, John Smith. So you're just gonna ask. That was the question I was gonna follow. Your thoughts on them trashing Trent's mom fan.
I like the promo Trent cut after. You could do this, you could do that, but you don't touch my mom's van. That was my favorite part of that.
So it's time for. It seems like we do this every other week. Is this the week? Adam Page and Kenny Omega split up. They're actually going against Jurassic Express, who have been on a bit of a roll lately. That 5-2 record, I don't think does what they've been doing lately justice. They have to be. They beat MJF and Wardlow. They beat, I guess, somebody else recently too. We've been calling their names a lot lately, John Smith.
Yeah, I mean, I think they deserve the shot at the belts, but I don't think they're going to win them. I mean, when are they going to give up these belts at this point? I don't know. I mean, we've called for them to lose so many times now. I'm not going to bet against them until they lose, and then I'll be wrong that time.
So, you'll have a very high work. Yeah, law of averages bound to happen at some point. John Licani, who do you got?
Yeah, I guess I'm going to go with Omega and Page retaining because I don't. That's not the team I see taking it off of them. Another, face team for all intents and purposes. So they probably will lose, but I'm going to go with Omega and Page.
Yeah, I'm going to Omega and Page. Like I said, if they were going to have that split, it would have been against the Dark Order 2 weeks ago. And the Dark Order was undefeated. They were rolling. They had Brody Lee. They had everybody at the top. That was it. That was the best shot that the Dark Order gave, and they still couldn't do it. I don't know. I don't know who's going to do it. I honestly hope it's like two nobodies too. Like it's freaking Griff Garrison and freaking Cheeseburger. They bring Cheeseburger in for freaking one night only, and he went to tag titles. Now we're gonna bring John the Con. We're gonna bring up what you mentioned earlier, Matthew Hardy. I watched this a couple of times because a couple people called out Matt for using a blade and this getting blown out of proportion for no reason. I didn't see that. I saw a pretty straight chair shot to the forehead.
Yeah, it looked like the legs of the chair caught him, or one of the legs of the chair, and it just, he was bleeding like a stuck pig. Yeah, that got a little ugly.
Yeah, John Smith. I haven't seen a stuffed pig recently, but I have seen one of them bleed at one point. It's yes.
I was equally as disgusted as you guys by all that blood, but I think it. Honestly, I think it happened when his head hit the post because their posts are square.
Yeah.
He hit the corner and he went like that. And I tried pausing it a few times, and his head is pretty red before that chair even gets thrown. And I don't think it's the streak in his hair. So I think it was from the post first because he threw him into that post way harder than he should have.
Yeah, and to tell you the truth, you heard the ding from the post. So I'm trying to figure out, like, if you kick the post, like, you stomp your foot or whatever, like, you kick the post, that doesn't make that sound. I don't know what was making that sound.
Skull.
And then the other thing that I was having a hard time to skip because Max Hardy, because that one section where that's where his hair is red anyway. So I'm just like, all right, shit, is that his hair? I was like, oh, is that his hair? Is that blood? I was like, I couldn't. I guess we just gotta keep playing. Let's pretend like we always do. Okay, so Sammy Guevara busted him open. This is going towards All Out. And I guess now you have a chairs match. There's something you can do with this. So I guess it's like we got a lot of events coming up. You got SummerSlam, Takeover, All Out. Even Impact's throwing out they're hopping on the bi-weekly pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it, things that the Bash and the Fighter Fest were.
Too big for one night.
That's it. Immersion's too big for it. We'll get to Immersions. We will. And then we saw an old friend show up last week. We didn't get to talk to him because he was off the air. But Matt Cardona is back on TV. Woo, woo, woo. And he's siding with Cody. So, John Smith, I know you're a Matt Cardona fan. Now, how do you feel about this little alliance?
I mean, I wasn't ever really a Matt Cardona fan. I instantly dislike him now that he's associated with Cody Rhodes. So I guess he gets the fast forward also. I mean, maybe if they're in a match together, yeah, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on his matches, unless Cody's on the, accompanying him to the ring. Then the camera's going to be on Cody half the time anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. John Licani, Cody and Cardona. Yeah, Cody. I like the way that sounds. It's the sweet life of Zach and Cody, I believe, is what the odds-on favorite were. They wanted when they got these two got together, but I don't think they can do that. Wins over members of the Dark Order, Silver and Reynolds.
Yes, yeah, a good match there. Cardona. I'm guessing did a not that he was ever in anything less than tip-top shape, but it looked like he might have done a 90-day cycle during his non-compete because he looked pretty ripped up.
Yeah, it's him and Chelsea. I don't know where Chelsea's been. She's been off TV for a while. I don't know. So she looks like she was in shape too throughout this whole thing. So it looks like you got a nice little husband and wife. Same thing with Spears and Peyton, working out together. And I guess at the end of that match. Scorpio Sky came out, and I guess he was the next person. He wants to be the next person to challenge Cody. And we have it tomorrow night on Dynamite. We have 6-1 Scorpio Sky, 17 wins. 17-1. Smith, say your comment. Do it now. Get it over with.
All right, yeah, Cody wins. We all know it. The only way I'd watch this is if it was Too Cold Scorpio instead of Scorpio Sky.
Scorpio Sky, SoCal. I'm a Scorpio Sky fan. I picked him actually in that casino ladder match, the one that Cage won. Scorpio Sky was my pick. They had a couple promos with him wanting this singles run. I guess maybe he's like the Big E of SCU, where he's finally going to get his shot. Maybe this is the start.
Yeah, this would not be a bad place to do it, but it seemed like they started to lay the groundwork a couple of weeks ago, saying that the schedule was getting to Cody when he had that one match where he didn't quite have the upper hand as much as he thought he should have a couple of weeks ago. But then they kind of went away from that, and then he had a really good match against Eddie Kingston. Then he had the match against Warhorse, and now he's got what should be a fantastic match coming up against Scorpio Sky.
Did they sign Warhorse yet? I don't mean to interrupt your thought. They didn't sign Warhorse yet? No, man.
I'm not entirely sure. But I'm going to go with Cody, but I wouldn't be shocked, nor would I be disappointed if this was where they decided to do the switch finally.
Yeah. I believe, and I know Ryan Joy's up next with New Japan. I believe he will correct me. I believe this is his 8th defense. I believe he has 7 successful title defenses up to this point. This will be number 8 coming up if he does win this match. And then I guess the big to-do with Dynamite, our good friend who who rattled off 83 consecutive weeks of winning the Monday Night Wars with WCW Nitro. For the first time in 18, 19 years, Eric Bischoff was on TNT television. John Licani, I'll start with you on this one. I know you watched the Attitude Era back then. I was with you for a little bit of it. And welcome back, Eric. What do you think?
Yeah, sure. I mean, Jericho's bringing back all his old pals. Not that I believe for 1 second Jericho and Eric Bischoff got along.
No, yeah, right.
But he definitely knows how to put things aside. And if you mind me stealing the phrase, do what's best for business. Not that Eric added a whole lot to this segment. He just came out, read a couple of questions, and he had a quick back and forth with Jericho, leading you to realize, to know that they don't necessarily care for each other, whether it be kayfabe or not. But he added to the segment. It was cute, but I hope we're not going to see him around anymore.
John Smith, during the debate, Orange Cassidy, I guess, really didn't have a lot to say until a specific topic of climate change came up, huh?
Yeah, he's pretty woke, isn't he?
Yeah, right.
So yeah, that was a nice character twist for him. That was cool. Where he's pretty active in the climate change scene. So that's cool, I guess.
Yeah, well, that's the one thing Orange Cassidy cares about.
Right?
I guess we found it. I guess he's from wherever, weighs whatever, but he cares about the environment.
As far as Eric Bischoff goes, I think the only reason they had him on was to keep eyeballs on the TV.
That's true. Yeah.
Keep people from switching the channel. I think that's the only reason he was
there.
there.
We had to find out who that mystery announcer was, sure.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a guest referee for this match? No. But yeah, they're going to do this again. $7,000 obligation match. Okay, never mind.
Somebody's got to pay for that jacket, damn it.
Yeah. So we're doing this again, a rematch from Fyter Fest. Chris Jericho against Orange Cassidy. John Licani, I'll let you swing first on this one just because I know where you're going.
I don't see why you do this again unless something crazy happens and Cassidy wins. So, I almost would never, ever dare to take sides against the demo god, but I think I'm going to have to go with Cassidy here.
John Smith?
Yeah, I got Cassidy winning that match, definitely. Deceitful means, I think Jericho will have somebody interfering on his behalf first, but I think Orange Cassidy's help is what puts him over the top. And then this will lead into when's the next actual pay-per-view they got going on?
Yeah, September 9th.
Yeah, so we'll probably get it for a third time at that pay-per-view, and then it'll be, the end-all be-all.
All righty, so I'm gonna go. I'll go Jericho. I went Orange Cassidy the first time. I might as well just be wrong twice, right? I'll go with Jericho. I think if this is a true one-on-one and if there's no outside interference, then there's no reason why Jericho shouldn't win this, I guess, right? I mean, he's 4-1. He's Chris Jericho. He's the GOAT. He beat Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock in the same night. I'll take Chris Jericho. All right, John and John, we are going to give you guys a quick break here. We are going to bring in Ryan Joy from MinutesToBellTime.com. Oh, yeah, get me off that screen. There we go. That's way too close right there. Ryan Joy, ladies and gentlemen, MinutesToBellTime.com. Here is our guy, our Elias Bureau of the Stats. Elias Stats. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say here. I couldn't freaking.
Thank you.
I've talked to you all. I've talked to you today and yesterday. You know I'm just completely out of whack today. Great to have you on. Great to see your face finally on our show. We love your graphics. We love your stats. Thank you very much for coming on. Thank you for being a part of this. How's everything going, buddy?
Great, great. I don't have the I lost power for a little bit, but not quite as long as you guys, I guess. But yeah, it's great to be on. Thank you very much. Thanks for all the praise on the graphics. Appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. So we're bringing you on. You were dubbed. I believe you were supposed to come on last week. You are officially dubbed our senior New Japan correspondent. I love your enthusiasm getting up at, I believe, 4 or 5 in the morning for these shows?
4:30 for a big show, 5:30 for a normal show, and right now it's all Japanese commentary, so it's really
I know.
dedication.
They are very enthusiastic, though, and I watched the New Japan Cup. They are extremely. Like, the one guy is pretty much. I kind of call him Moro, just because he's got that moral renown enthusiasm. You can hear it in his voice. But before we get to the U.S. title tournament, I believe there was. You said there was a tournament to crown new 6-man never open weight championship. Did I get all that right?
Yeah, that's right. So on Sunday, they crowned new never open weight 6-man champions.
Yeah.
There was an 18 tournament. Winners came out. What's that?
No, I just said okay. I was agreeing
It
with
was
you.
Hiroki Goto, Tomohiro Ishii, and Yoshihashi came away with it in an all-chaos final. So Okada strapped the belt around Yoshihashi in a little emotional ceremony after the match, and there you have it, new never open weight champions.
Yeah, and Okada had a show in too, right? Those two. I don't know if you saw the one segment that we actually. I talked a little New Japan by myself, pretty much. I had one episode with Kenny Pete. Show and Yo got ripped during this pandemic. They were pretty.
Yeah, show is looking really impressive. Like he might jump out of junior heavyweight.
So we have new 6-man champions, but in the midst of all this, we have a United States Championship, I guess, a number 1 contenders tournament.
So it's the New Japan Cup USA. Yeah, and there you see the 8 men that have competed. We're down to 4 now. Kenta, Jeff Cobb, Dave Finlay, and Tama Tonga remain after now, Karl Frederick, Tonga Loa, Chase Owens, and Brody King eliminated last week.
Now, what does the winner get? Does the winner get a championship match here? Because for those who don't know, the United States champion is Mr. Moxley, Becky Two Belts over there with the AEW World Championship and the IWGP US title.
Yeah, so the winner gets a future IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship match. It's a long title name, but it's interesting because in all of the promotion for the tournament, they keep saying you get the championship match, They haven't mentioned Mr. Moxley's name, so it's kind of an interesting little side note. I don't know if he's going to break the IWGP regulations by not being able to defend the belt, or what's going to happen there. But the winner of the tournament does get a title shot, hopefully against Jon Moxley.
Yeah, that would be great. Now, do you think, since Mox hasn't defended and hasn't even been around, is he like the Brock Lesnar of New Japan, where he just has the belt and just like shows up just during Wrestle Kingdom?
I think he has to defend it by Thanksgiving. Otherwise, he gets. They have protections against the Brock Lesnar rule.
Yeah, Brock. I guess Brock can show up whenever he wants to defend the title, win, and then you don't see him again.
Right.
So, like I said, we have the semifinals coming up. Tama Tonga and David Finlay. That is Fitz's little boy, right? That's Fitz's son, David Finlay.
Yep, that's right. That's right. This is kind of an interesting match. They both have the same finisher. They both use a cutter. Tama Tonga calls it the gun run. David Finlay calls it prima nocta. He comes off the top rope with it. It's an interesting matchup. I think my pick in this is David Finlay.
You're taking David Finlay. I believe we had the discussion before this tournament started. We were kind of talking about it to get ready for last week's show that never happened. I picked Tama Tonga to win this whole thing. I'm a huge fan of his. I love the Gorillas of Destiny. if you come hot from Haku's loins, you're a bad man, and I'm not going to pick against Tama Tonga ever.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to pick against Tama Tonga, but Tonga Loa got knocked out in the first round. But the reason we'll get to it here when we pick the next match, but I don't feel like we're gonna have Bullet Club versus Bullet Club in the finals, which is
no, exactly. And Tama Tonga is he's an OG, right? Like I said, in the second semifinal here, take it away here. That face on the right looks a little familiar.
Yeah, the former NXT Hideo Itami is in New Japan as Kenta, and he's facing Jeff Cobb in the semifinal match. It's another interesting matchup because you got Kenta, who is just gonna kick and punch his way through this match, and then you got Jeff Cobb, who's gonna throw him all over the ring. So it should be a really good bout. I'm picking Kenta to win the whole tournament. So I got Kenta in this match.
Yeah, I'll go Kenta just so we can go me versus you in the finals here. Maybe we can have some kind of friendly wager on it. I would say hair versus hair, but I guess you already lost that match.
Yeah, sorry.
No, I'm just gonna bust a new guy, right?
I'll shave my beard.
Yeah, there you go. Well, yeah, I can't shave mine just yet. I got the hockey beard going, so I got the playoff beard. The Islanders are still in it, so I still got to go with this. So now this, just one last quick question with this. The U.S., these are all guys that are currently stateside, right? Where is this taking place?
So this is taking place in the LA Dojo. So it's all the matches are in Los Angeles. It's shot in a way where you can see the ring, and pretty much the entire rest of the arena is kind of dark. But yeah, these are all people that can't get to Japan. So it's all people that are in the United States.
All right, that's a pretty cool thing for them to do. Because you see this New Japan Cup, and you see the show that they're putting on, and there's nothing wrong with the guys there. But you're like, oh man, they're missing, especially the Bullet Club. Like I said, when you're missing Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, you're like, they're missing some guys. I believe Jay White's he's probably stateside too. I wonder why he's not in this tournament.
He's either stateside or maybe he's in New Zealand or UK.
Yeah, he's from New Zealand, right? Yeah. But and before we let you go, we'll definitely get the one. So these matches are Friday night, right?
These are Friday night, right after SmackDown. Fire up New Japan World, and you can stream this. New Japan Strong.
All right, copy that. And then when is the finals? Was that on the graphic?
The finals, it's not on the graphic, but the finals are a week from Friday. So you got these semifinals Friday, final the week after.
All right, sounds good. So we'll definitely have you. We'll have you back on next week to talk over the semifinals, and then me and you can talk a little trash with hopefully a Kenta versus Tama Tonga final here. But actually, on my way home from work today, minutes to bell time actually broke some news it was news to me. So if you want to go ahead and spread the wealth here, what do you got?
So NWA returns to action September 15th. So if you're a fan of NWA and been missing out on that since the pandemic started, they are returning programs starting September 15th under a pay-per-view model. And also that news came out yesterday. And then today, Ring of Honor announced that they are going to start a taping schedule. So that'll be later this month. And I'm not sure when those episodes will air yet, but both Ring of Honor and NWA coming back.
There you go. And that's nothing but good news right there, because I have missed Dalton Castle very, very much. And it was actually
a lot of great talent in both of those companies that just isn't getting showcased right now. So it's kind of it's a shame the pandemic really wiped that out. But
yeah, and what really stunk was I was like, when this podcast started, I was like, okay, I want to watch NWA. Maybe we can talk about it. And I saw the final episode, and it was the episode right before the Crockett Cup was supposed to be. So that was like everything was just building up for this one huge show, and just we got Carneyland.
Yeah. Unfortunate for them because, man, that was the first time they were leaving that little 400-seat studio. They were going into a big arena, and 2020 happened.
That was part of the reason why I loved them. It was that studio, and the fact that nobody had entrance music. the announcer was almost like a game show host. Like that might as well have been Rod Roddy calling these people down the aisle. You know, like it was just so generic.
Yeah.
It was to the point where it was beautiful, and I loved it. I loved it. That was going to be my Saturday morning thing, and then I only got 1 week out of it. So, but Ryan, thank you so much again for coming on. We appreciate you seeing you. You will be back. I said you're welcome to come back next week. I'd love to keep talking New Japan with you, and we definitely want to have you on for that SummerSlam special at the end of the month. You're definitely invited to that. Tyler will be here as well. There's going to be 5 of us. The stream's going to be full, chock full of useless wrestling knowledge, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We're great to have you on, pal.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Happy to come back.
All right. Yeah, right. Again, Ryan from minutestobelltime.com, and I do owe you a ton of push-ups. I didn't forget. All right, Ryan, take it easy, pal. And so I'm going to take Ryan off. We're going to bring John back on. Here we go. John Smith, you guys all well rested. You took a little intermission right there. Everybody good to go? I got to get this graphic back on. So you got this one. See, I'm trying to be. There you go. Trying to be professional here, and right, there we go. So we're gonna fast forward to Impact real quick. Doing pretty good on time, actually. By the way, any thoughts? Like I said, Hideo Itami, John Smith. I know we talked a little in the pre-production. You enjoyed Hideo Itami, right?
Yeah, big fan of Hideo Itami. What did you say his name was again now?
Kenta, and I believe that was his name even before NXT, because I want to say when Regal debuted him, Kenta was on the screen, and then Regal's like, well, he'll now be known as Hideo Itami, and then it changed into that. But he actually did, NXT does a pretty good job as with the FKAs. Like even in that breakout tournament, it's like Cameron Grimes, FKA, Trevor Lee,
Yeah, how do I go about watching these matches?
Well, New Japan?
Yeah.
Oh, Daily Motion. I told you that it works for everything. It works for everything. If not, I gotta look at my Fire Stick on my Venom streaming service. Venom. I use a Venom streaming service, $15 a month. I get absolutely everything. NWJP. There you go, Ryan. Just thank you, Ryan. NJWP, New Japan Pro Wrestling, World.com. I believe it is somewhere around $9 a month if you go that route to it.
Gotcha.
So we are going to $9.99 yen. There you go. We're gonna go to Impact, John DeConnie. We're gonna go into your world real quick. We're gonna end the shows with your specific shows here. John DeConnie first with Impact, then John with Smith with NXT. I believe the new theme song is "We Own the Night."
We own the night.
We own the night. It's catchy. I like it.
Yes.
It's my time to shine. It's not that. It's very. I really like the new Impact intro. But we're gonna start this off with another possible retirement here. Eric Young took out Rich Swann at Slammiversary, and Rich Swann calling it quits.
2 weeks ago, he was on to give a medical update and managed to not really say anything. Then came the next week, he actually showed up to the building, came down to the ring and said he had to call it a career. There was too much damage done. They told him it's no longer, a sports injury. It's a matter of a quality of life.
Yeah.
And most of the roster came out. They gave him the salute, banging on the ring. And as he made his way back up the entranceway, the world-class Maniac greeted him, took his crutch from him, and slammed him across the boot as he screamed in pain and EY was chased off the stage by Eddie Edwards and the rest of the roster. And they called for the doctors, and that's how the show ended.
Yeah, so John Smith, is this this isn't a real retirement? I mean, assuming Rich Swann's going to be back here at some point. He's got to heal the injury. I don't think he's really injured this time as he was. I guess he missed 8 months, right, John DeConnie? He missed 8 months.
8 or 9 months, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I think this is a way to
Yeah, I like that Eric Young is just getting involved. I like anything he does. So yeah, this is fine by me.
And as a result of that, Rich Swan's, I don't want to say BFF, but really good friend, Willie Mack. There's the big Mac Daddy, 9-2. He's going to be going one-on-one tonight with Eric Young in a way to try to get some, I don't want to use the word retribution because I got a funny feeling that word is going to be completely played out by the end of the year. Payback. How about that? We'll use payback. Try to get some payback for his friend, Rich Swan, John DeConnie. Who do you got?
Yes, I'm gonna go with, unfortunately, Willie Mack's losing streak being extended, because I think EY will do something underhanded. So unless he winds up getting himself disqualified, I think he'll do something via heel tactics to pull off the victory here.
Yeah, I'll agree. Okay, John Smith, you just kind of hit the nail on the head for me.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Mostly, I could also see him just winning outright because it's basically his debut match back in the company, and they want to make him come off as strong. So I mean, maybe he'll heal it up, but I don't think he has to.
I just think he's outright. John DeConnie, you're right. I think this is Willie Mack by disqualification only because Eric Young's out to hurt people right now. He's not out to win matches. He doesn't want the winner's purse.
They want to keep him public enemy number one.
Yeah, you want that. The only match he wants to win is Eddie Edwards. That's the only match that he's gonna try to out wrestle. I think in the meantime he's just gonna. Yeah, I think Willie's in trouble tonight. Speaking of Eddie Edwards, nice little championship match. It was a mystery opponent. Ended up being Sami Callihan, John DeConnie.
Yes, indeed. Sammy, who had words the week before with RVD and Katie Forbes, got the nod for the championship match. And because he played his hacker bit and ruined Katie Forbes' picture reveal last week, RVD jumped him at the top of the ramp, messed him up a little bit, but Sammy, being the trooper, continued down to the ring and put on a heck of a match with Eddie Edwards inside the ring and out. A couple of really ouchy spots, if you will. The two of them really took it out of each other, and in the end, the champ retained.
Yeah, John Smith, these two have had a history. Even for those who really didn't watch Impact, might have heard when Sami Callihan took a baseball bat and actually accidentally hit Eddie Edwards for real and broke his orbital bone. Like, what was John DeConnie? What was the actual injury here?
I don't recall, but
what was the injury report?
Sounds about right. Whatever.
He broke his orbital bone. Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah, look that one up. So these two have had a history. So I'm actually, so the fact that these two are going at each other pretty hard, it doesn't shock me at all. And then we have,
I didn't get a chance to see that match.
Yeah. Your silence kind of told me that, so I figured I'd move forward to Moose and Heath for the TNA Heavyweight Championship. Good to see Heath back in the ring again, actually wrestling. Not being a joke, not really, like I said, the whole thing with Drew McIntyre, I get why they made Heath lose in 2 seconds. I mean, when you're not, part of the company, you're not supposed to showcase your talents, right? That makes sense. But Heath had a pretty good match, Sean DeConnie.
Yes. Heath put on a pretty good match. We got to see his new finisher, which is kind of just a zigzag under a different name. And in keeping with the way Dolph Ziggler performs the zigzag, it didn't really look like anything you could recognize. And that might have had something to do with, I think, Moose was not quite in the right position for it when he hit it. But he hit it. We got to hear its name. I think it was the wake up call. Yes, the wake up call. And then we went about getting the
call. Yeah.
Yeah, we went about getting the no jackhammer needed spear, and Moose retains the title that doesn't really exist.
Yeah, and then EC3 last week, I believe it was the week that we missed. EC3 appeared behind Moose and dropped him with one of the Christian's inverted DDTs. I always think of him when somebody does that.
Yeah.
But EC3 is out to destroy that title, John Smith. I don't know if you're catching any of that.
Yeah, that's actually the one match I did see was the Moose and Heath match. I like that EC3 is going after that belt because that belt is what he was all about when the last time he was there.
Yeah.
I wasn't a big fan of the way the match ended, though. I mean, Heath just he didn't even. I don't think he speared him. I think he just gave him a low blow and rolled him up. Right?
Yes, you're absolutely right. Yeah, it was a low.
So how are you going to lose the match from a low blow? Like, you can kick out when you've been low blowed, and he was pulling the tights a little bit.
The tights. Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't even. It didn't even. It was so Impact. It was so TNA actually. Yeah.
You're learning. That's it. That's you can win by low blows in Impact. That's fair game. It's completely fair game in Impact to win by low blow. Yeah, so EC3, somebody mentioned that he's going to go after that belt. I thought he was going to get. I thought he was going to just to praise it. He wants to destroy it, so I didn't see that one coming. EC3's again controlling his own narrative. I'm sure he'll have another promo today. His promos have been spot on. Love his promos. They're starting, like I said, I mentioned before. Impact is doing a 2-week. I guess not free for view, I guess if you want to call it that way. We're getting 2 weeks of a show called Emergence. Emergence, too big for just one night. Similar to what the Great American Bash was, similar to what Fyter Fest was, but instead of getting involved in that war, they're just delayed about a month and just do it on their own on a Tuesday night. So the first match, I guess they booked for that, I believe 2 weeks ago, Don Nicani, was Ethan Page crying.
He was speechless. He was choked up. He had no words for the new champs. Then the following week, he had plenty of words for the new champs. He complained that they had faced them at 40% at best. And the Machine Guns invited him down to the ring to get their rematch right then and there. And he said, no. We're not ready. The pay-per-view was just the other day.
Yeah.
We're going to do this on our timeline. And apparently their timeline lines up very well with Emergence, either the 18th or the 25th.
John Smith, we're going to get a rematch here. I'm kind of – I feel like this might be a night one thing because they already have the Knockouts title for night two, so maybe just put this out one. But this is going to be excited to see Machine Guns in the North get at it again.
Yeah, that first match I saw them in was great, so I'd love to see that happen again. I don't know. I'd have to watch next week before I could tell you who I think's going to win, though.
Yeah, no, listen, we'll go through it. I guess Emergence, Emergence is on ProWrestlingPick'em.com. Is going to count, so I guess find some way to make some time to get those Impact standings back up. A feud will probably be settled at Emergence. Ace Austin and Madman Fulton, they kind of set up the Good Brothers pretty well last weekend, John DeConnie. Doc Gallows got cuffed up.
Yeah, indeed they did. Apparently they messed with Gallows and Anderson's car, left some open containers, which is illegal in that area. And in the skirmish afterwards, at one point, Fulton hit Doc in the back of the head. And then the next person to come up behind Doc and try to restrain him, unfortunately for Doc, was a police officer who he equally gave a back elbow to. And that got him some shiny silver bracelets. He was missing from the building for the rest of the evening. And that led to Karl Anderson being cornered by Ace and Fulton and roughed up.
Yeah, he got roughed up pretty bad. Yeah, tell you what, that's my Jersey guy. Ace Austin. That was pretty clever, John Smith. To get, I guess maybe the cops will let the first time go, but then we get the elbow to the grill. That's bound for.
Yeah, I like the way that was all set up and written though. That was a good story.
John, your girl might have a little bit of a roadblock. Before she gets her championship rematch opportunity from a rematch clause at Emergence, Kimberly and Deonna Purrazzo struck a deal where if Kimberly can take out Jordana Grace, then Kimberly would get the title shot. So that's going to set up this match between Jordan Grace. Did I call her Jordana again? Jordan Grace. I've never seen Jordan spelled that way. Jordan Grace going up against Kimberly. Not really a number one contenders match. Jordan Grace is already signed for Emergence. As you can see, we actually have MinutesToBellTime.com actually starting to branch off with I Draw Wrestlers, they're called. They're actually going to start putting the graphics along with MinutesToBellTime.com. Go to Facebook to see I Draw Wrestlers. You're going to see a lot of those come up for Impact. I believe they're going to be branching off into the other companies as well. But John DeConnie, you going to give Kimberly a chance here against your girl?
Not against the Hasse. Are you kidding?
I didn't think so. John Smith, who do you got in this one?
No, I got Jordan Grace in this one.
I like how Kimberly signs the contract. She finally got signed by Impact, I guess, officially. And now she can talk. And now she can start making deals with wrestlers and start getting buddy-buddy with people instead of just showing up randomly. And so it's good to see Kimberly. She was in the original Mae Young Classic, formerly known as Abby Lath. Was she in the first one or the second? I think she was in the first one. But yeah, she's a nice little addition to the Knockouts division, but she's not going to be beating Jordan Grace. I'd like to see Purrazzo and Jordan Grace again at Emergence. That would be on night 2, which will be August 25th, and I believe I already have Deonna Purrazzo picked for that match on the site, so spoiler. Also in the women's division, we have a tag team match. This match kind of ended the last time they fought with a disqualification when Tasha Steelz, I Spy a Jersey Girl, tried to hit Havoc with a chair. Didn't really have too much success with it, Don DeConnie.
No, not at all. And it was a half-hearted effort with the chair, but still it did not make Havoc even flinch. So given the right to use all types of plunder, I'm going to go with the two sturdier ladies in Havoc and Nevaeh.
Yeah, they definitely have the advantage on that as far as sturdiness goes. As they normally no DQs and use of weapons and toys and stuff like that favor the bigger wrestlers. I'm going with I'm not putting it against Tasha Steelz, Jersey Girl. John Smith.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Tasha Steelz also.
Kiera Hogan. Where's Kiera Hogan from? She's not from Jersey, right? She's from I forget where she's from.
Not even sure.
Yeah, I gotta find that out.
Atlanta, apparently.
Oh, is that it? There you go, Atlanta. Thank you. He's on point with stuff. He's on point.
I thought she was from Venice Beach.
Venice Beach.
She's hanging and banging.
Yeah.
Isn't that where Hulk Hogan is from?
That's Venice Beach, California, and Sting. Ironically enough, what are the odds of that? Sting and Hulk Hogan, both Venice Beach. Also, this week coming up, Eddie Edwards. Again, he's got an open challenge. He's gonna just put the Impact Championship on the line every week. He's doing what Cody's doing. They're all doing what John Cena doing. Everyone's just doing what Impact. Yeah, John Cena did it first. Eddie Edwards defending the Impact World Championship again tonight. And then also the Swing Daddy. Locker room talk with Rob Van Dam and Katie Forbes. I'm sure Sami Callihan will be involved in that as well. I feel like RVD and Sami Callihan had a collision course coming up at Emergence at some point. And then we have Wrestle House, John DeConnie. I'll let you do the fast forward that real quick.
Okay.
If you cap of the Wrestle House, why would you be the Swing Daddy?
Yeah. Basically, the best thing to come out of Wrestle House so far has been Taya Valkyrie trying to exit the house, only to find the door leads to nowhere but fires of purgatory and abyss. And they make reference to, so I think the Swing Man actually said, I guess he really is in purgatory, since he is now a producer for WWE.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, so basically what's going on in the house is it's all been conjured by Rosemary, and no one gets to leave until Johnny Bravo takes a hint
Takes
and
it.
succumbs to her feminine wiles or
That's it.
wicked ways.
I will say this: Kylie Ray and Rosemary, Kylie Ray and Rosemary. And that might be the greatest Wrestle House match of all time. That from last week. I thought that was really good.
Yes,
Alicia and Susie beat the Swing Daddy. Yeah, Alicia and Susie beat the Swing Daddy.
Yeah.
That was funny how that match came about. So Wrestle House has been fun. It was worth. Crazy Steve and Johnny Swinger have been stealing it. We knew that going in.
Yeah.
I'll tune in just for those two. Everybody else, I like Kylie Ray. I think she's funny.
And there's perhaps a love match brewing between what is it? Is it Cody Deaner and Susie?
Yes, right. Yes, exactly. With truce, right? She gives them telling them to make truces.
Right.
And then back to actual in-ring action at Skyway Studios. TJP and Falaba defeated Chris Bay and Rohit Raju. After TJP caught Chris Bay going for that ridiculously, he jumps like 3/4 of the cross the ring backwards to hit that cutter. It's the craziest thing. But TJP caught him, turned it into an arm breaker, got the submission. So TJP might be having an X Division title match coming up at Emergence.
Absolutely, yeah. You got to think that's going to happen. TJP gets the champ to tap, even in a tag team match. You got to think that puts him right in there for the X Division title.
All right, that's going to be awesome. I would. Oh, that's
that should be a barn burner, slobber knocker, if you will.
Slobber knocker. I didn't even know Impact had slobber knockers. That could be one. And then the main event of the show, we're going to go to NXT. John Smith, unfortunately, last week we missed, and I had this whole rant ready to go, jumping back on the Undisputed Era bandwagon. Kyle O'Reilly is back. He's getting him ready to roll. Their first step back or getting those tag teams out. Those tag team championships in the have been the foundation of the Undisputed Era, much like what the WWF tag titles with the New Age Outlaws. DX always had the Outlaws with the tag titles. And I've been going through all those pay-per-views recently. They won a lot, and they've had them a lot. But the Undisputed Era, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, or Kyle O'Reilly, Roger Strong, they always had those belts. They get those belts back. Now we're cooking with fire. Now we're cooking with steam. And then Pat McAfee, John Smith.
I told you it was a work. Everybody thought that it was a shoot. I was like, "There's no way." I don't know why you would have thought that they would have won those titles last week, though, the Undisputed Era, Pat McAfee or not, because I don't think you put those on Imperium for them to just lose after a couple defenses. I saw them losing coming a mile away only because I think this is the Undisputed's down era right now. Right. And they got to do something to get it back eventually. But I think right now, now that Adam Cole doesn't have his belt, then nobody has to have a belt. And then, they just lose. And, they're in a slump.
So now, John DeCounty, I know we're all big football fans here. And John Smith, I'm just doing this as a segue. This has nothing to do degrading your football knowledge. But John DeCounty, Pat McAfee was, I guess according to himself, and I'm sure I didn't look it up, but I'm going by his word on this. He was the punter of the decade in the 2000s for the Indianapolis Colts. Is that correct?
So he says. I did not check Pro Football Reference, but that certainly is what he's been spouting.
So that's the one person that can rival Randy Orton as far as punting somebody and actually make it be like, oh my God, all right, he just kicked his head off. That's the guy, Pat McAfee.
Yeah, I thought they that played out perfectly the way they had Adam Cole splayed across the table with just his, basically from his chest up hanging off. And McAfee, who had basically spent most of the evening, or his segment at least, the last 20 minutes of the show, just kind of being a jerk off and making little passive aggressive comments and whatnot. And then he turned it around right at the end there and told him he was always going to be a whiny a little bitch or something like that. Cole jumps across the table, sets himself up, and wow, a hell of a boot.
Yeah. So this match, Cole laid down the challenge, and I honestly, this is where it gets fun because now Adam Cole is actually going to be getting some, I don't want to say mainstream publicity here, but Pat McAfee was on ESPN, and he was talking to Greeny, Mike Greenberg, accepting the challenge from Adam Cole. So that match is going to happen at TakeOver. So we will get into that definitely. Maybe a little bit next week, but I'm not into more detail come the SummerSlam special next Saturday afternoon. Grimy, Keith Lee and Cameron Grimes. Again, Grimy was supposed to get squashed. John Smith, and again, Grimy held his own.
Yeah, he did. He's a grimy SOB, man. He just finds a way to stay in there to poke you in the eye or, throw you against the post. He somehow did that move he does. I forgot the name of it.
Yeah, flipping, yep.
Yeah, somehow he did that to Keith Lee. That was an awesome match. I loved it.
The unfortunate thing is Keith Lee is just in a very, very, very foul mood, specifically with Karrion Kross. And I find it weird that I guess it wasn't last week, the week before, the episode that we missed. Regal's like, you two aren't gonna. This isn't. We're gonna get control. You two don't make the title match. Dude, just let them fight. Like, this is when you care. I know you're the commissioner, but since when? Just if they want to fight, let them fight. John the Connie.
Yeah, at this point, do you have a better idea, Commissioner?
You got the main event, a huge main event of a takeover. Wait a second, you guys don't decide the matches here. But actually, this week on Wednesday, though, I guess after the Keith Lee Grimy match, Karrion Kross went on a little bit of a rampage backstage. Danny Burch got caught in it, and now that's going to set up the match for tomorrow night on NXT, where Danny Burch and Karrion Kross, they're going to go at it. I don't see actually John Smith. I should divert to you. So what late 80s, early 90s movie reference is this match going to replicate?
Oh man, I don't know. Footloose 2, Electric Boogaloo. I don't know, man. This is going to be a major squash, I think. Less than a minute.
Less than a minute. All right, I'm going to write that down. 60 seconds for Danny Burch. Wow. Danny Burch is a tough guy, British strong style, Don the Connie.
Yeah. I don't know that I would take the under 60, but I think I've said this before. I don't know that it goes over 90. So yeah, I think this is going to be not a good day for Mr. Burch.
All right. Okay. So I guess it's when Karrion Kross, instead of picking wins and win or lose with Karrion Kross, we have to pick a time.
Yeah, until he loses.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll go 2 minutes then. John give him 1. John the Connie will give him 90 seconds. I'll go 2 minutes. It's going to go around 2 minutes. I think Daniel will give him a little bit of a fight. We'll make it interesting. And then Bronson Reed with an interesting match. Shane Thorne. Good to see him back on TV. We haven't seen him since his. I thought he was joining. I thought he was an original member of the Hurt Business, to tell you the truth, with MVP. Shane Thorne got back on TV just to get frog splashed by Bronson Reed. Which I was going to get to that in the match in a second. Did I miss something? I did miss something here. These notes aren't in order. I've heard me in pre-production. The NXT notes were I forgot to change them. Bronson Reed fought Shane Thorne. What I wanted to get before that was the North American title match. That was one of my headlines. That's what I wanted to get to. Nice match. Damian Priest with Oney Lorcan, and then Ridge Holland out of left field. NXT UK guys are all of a sudden showing up. John Smith.
Yeah, it's
Ridge Holland.
Holland's a beast. honestly could say I forgot about him over the past few months, but when he came out, I was like, "Oh, this is going to be awesome." I think we all would have picked Damian Priest if we had a show last week.
Oh yeah, I would have.
Just from the other two competitors in there. Plus, I think this whole tournament now is going Damian Priest's way now that Loomis is out. I mean, Loomis was my pick from the start, but now that he's gone.
Yeah, that was the other part of the story. So the NXT title match, it gained Damian Priest as the winner of that match, but it lost Dexter Loomis. Now, John Smith, stay with you for a sec. You looked up what his injury was. You want to explain to us again, Dr. Google?
Oh, no, I don't want to try to pronounce the name like for the public, but what I do know is the general injury that he has a 6 month to 12 month recovery. I don't know how severe it is. It's some sort of lesion, Lesion. But yeah, he's going to be out. I would say at least 3 months if he's one of those guys that wants to come back injured.
So, John DeConnie, we'll go with forward with you then. The next match for the qualifiers, once I find it, there we go. We got Grimy again. You got Grimy, you got Kushida, which I'm happy, that he's getting involved in this, and then a mystery opponent. And we're back to here again. I'm assuming it's CM Punk. Could be wrong. But who are you taking here? You have any shot in the dark? I don't know. I was looking at the NXT roster to see who was left, and I did see Grimy. I did see Kushida, hoping he was going to make it. Drake Maverick is the only one that really comes to mind here. I think I'm way wrong on that one.
I mean, that would be an interesting, since both of those gentlemen are of lesser stature, that would be a heck of a three-way there. I personally don't have a guess. I like that going. I like your suggestion, but I got to think with the I don't want to say role he's on, but with the amount of exposure he's gotten, I got to think that regardless of who it is, unless it's someone that really blows us out of the water, I got to think Grimes takes this one because I think he'd be a heck of a addition to that ladder match.
Yeah, and then with this injury to Loomis, okay, so it leaves us Bronson Reed and Damian Priest, and they have a match tomorrow night as well. That's why I kind of got screwed up out of order here. We'll get to that match in a second, but then Regal announced. So you have those two. You have the winner of this match, and then you got the four losers who didn't get pinned, which is Johnny Gargano, Finn Balor, Ridge Holland, and then whoever doesn't get pinned in this one, they get 2 one-on-ones to fill out the 5 for the crowd here. So it's almost like I thought they were going to usually do the second chance battle royal, but they're giving guys a second chance here. So John Smith, I guess, with all that, who do you got tomorrow night? And he's the mystery opponent.
The only person I can think of is the Velveteen Dream. I think that he will probably be the guy. I can't think of anybody else. Like, why would you mystery opponent anybody else? If it is him, then I think he wins the match, and then Grimes will end up making his way into the ladder match with the second chance situation.
Yeah.
If it's just some schmo, then I got Grimes. But otherwise, I think it's Velveteen Dream, and I think he's going to win it.
All right. I think it's Leon Ruff, and he's going to win it. Down. Leon Ruff.
Leon Ruff. Okay.
Leon Ruff. No, I'm going to go Grimy on this one. I got some Kushida. This would be so cool to get Kushida on a takeover. This would be such a way. And then, like I said, the other two guys that are in the ladder match already, Bronson Reed and Damian Priest, they're going to throw them in the ring together, one-on-one, I guess, just to keep them going until TakeOver happens. Damian Priest not having a good year so far. Bronson Reed, I guess, with that win, got back up to 500. This is a pretty interesting match. Both guys kind of need momentum going in to TakeOver. John Smith, what do you got going on here?
I think they both are riding too high a momentum, and I don't think they want to kill either one of them. So I'm going with the double count out. Not a double DQ, the double count out.
Double count out. Okay.
Yeah.
John Donnie?
Yeah, I think you can't have a winner or a loser in this match because it ruins one of these guys' role. So maybe they battle up the entryway into the back and blah blah blah, or somebody else. If this match is towards the end of the night, maybe whoever else just made it into the ladder match comes out and gets involved. Something happens, some kind of no contest. You don't get a winner loser.
I'm going to go Bronson Reed on this one. I agree with Johnson. I think Damian Priest kind of is one of the favorites to win the ladder match, depending on else who fills out the field. And there's, like I said, there's a lot going on. You can't really make a prediction here. But let's just say Damian Priest is the favorite right now that Dexter Lumis is out. I would give Bronson Reed the push here. Just because, oh my God, Bronson Reed, he's the one, DP, Damian Priest is out. You can twist it and then just have the Priest get Priest doesn't need the momentum going into it. Reed does. If Reed loses his match, then it's just like, all right, whatever. Now we're back to Bronson Reed. He was fed to Karrion Kross, a couple of weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a good way to keep his momentum going. So then when he loses the ladder match, you can just say he beat Damian Priest out of this, right? And then we have one more match actually finalized for TakeOver. It will be Dakota Kai that will challenge Io Shirai for the NXT Women's Championship. Dakota Kai with a nice win over Rhea Ripley. A great match, but kind of a shocking ending, and I love every second of it. I am amped for Rhea Ripley versus Mercedes Martinez, John Smith.
Yeah, you don't normally get to see two big girls go at it that aren't like where you get a fat one involved. You got two like very, I don't want to say manly, but
powerful.
Just powerful, but they're imposing. Yeah, imposing.
There you go. I like that. There you go.
A couple imposing figures going one-on-one. I mean, it's got. I always feel like it's a cop out when I say, "Oh, the Robert Stone brand interferes," and that's gonna be how it happens. But I think that's how it goes. I think they're gonna have a hell of a match. I think Rhea Ripley should be getting the win. The referee gets pulled out of the ring or something by Stone.
Yeah.
Eventually, it goes the other way. But I'm just looking forward to the match itself. I don't care how it ends because the storyline's going to keep going, in my opinion.
Yeah, John DeConnie, your thoughts on that? Or did John Smith kind of hit the nail on the head here?
Yeah, exactly. He pretty much touched all bases there. I'm looking forward to seeing those two tangle, and just like John said, I really don't care who wins. I think it will be ongoing.
And then the other match that was on NXT this past Wednesday, as a tune-up for this Tri-Brand Battle Royal, presumable victory for Tegan Nox. She took out Indy Hartwell with the Shiniest Wizard for the victory. And that will do it for this episode. Guys, still can't get under 90 minutes. Can't do it if you try. We do have to wrap this up quick, though. I do have a softball game to get to. That starts in about a half an hour, and it takes me about 25 minutes to stretch out because I am 40 years old now. It doesn't just happen magically anymore. I actually have to work out for that. But I just want to just tell you what's going on this week. There we go. Primetime Rundown. We'll be back this Friday. Last Friday, they got popped by the storm, too. So they are back on. There is Tyler's beautiful face. Hopefully, we will see him sooner than later. I know Tyler will be back for the SummerSlam special. But Tyler will join Joey Jarzenka and Nick Partain on the Primetime Rundown on Fridays at 6 o'clock on the Eastern Observer, on the I-95 Sports Networks, the Blackjack Media Networks, all the stuff, all the ways you can find us. You will find that show with the hockey playoffs in full swing with the first round starting tonight, I believe. It actually started this afternoon at 3 o'clock. I forgot about that. And with basketball going, baseball's in full swing, no pun intended. Football's on the brink. They got a lot of stuff to talk about. Definitely tune in for them. Subscribe to the Bones. I almost did it again. The Body Slam Brigade newsletter from our friends at minutestobelltime.com. I was actually just complimenting Ryan in pre-production in the before the show. Really great article, pretty much going over an in-depth look of AJ Styles, his year in the 2020, his current Intercontinental Championship reign, and just how long he thinks it's going to last. I do believe I saw John Smith, your comment on Facebook that you have him going to WrestleMania, I think, you got the rest of the year. But really great article, really in-depth look on his wins, on his losses, what they mean, and how he's going forward. Really, really great. There we go. We'll be back next Tuesday at 6 p.m., barring any hurricanes or abductions of Alexa Bliss or random United States Championship belts that you do not want to discuss. We will be here every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Again, like our show, please subscribe to the I-95 Sports Network YouTube page to make sure you get all the notifications on when we'll be on and when the primetime rundown will be on and all the other shows on that network. There it is, our SummerSlam special next Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock. It will be the three of us, along with Brian Joy from minutestobelltime.com, and along with our sheriff. We're getting our sheriff back for that show, Tyler Adele. His beautiful smiling face will be back on screen. So we're going to go in depth on everything from NXT TakeOver 30 and for SummerSlam. And we will be done definitely before the pre-show at 6:30 for NXT 30 will start. So please feel free to come join us at 3 p.m. next Saturday, August 22nd. And no. There we go. As you can see, you take 1 week off, everything. This ain't riding a bicycle, ladies and gentlemen. Graphics were screwed up, logos are screwed up. I forgot to take her half the time again. But you know what? We had fun. Thank you so much, very much for watching. Like I said, I have to go play softball, so I'm going to quote one of the greatest Little League legends of all time. My name is Big Al, and I like to hit dingers. For John Smith, for John DeConti, thank you very much for Ryan Joy. Oh, my God, Reggie. Alexa Bliss. We love you. It doesn't matter what you do on TV. Just know that we love you. Bless your sweet soul. Thank you very much for watching. John DeConti, take it home.
Thanks for joining us. And as always, we wish you the best in all your future endeavors.
I spy the greatest of Jersey guys right there.